I haven't got much more to say in the beginner's guide to Twitter. I think I've pretty much given you all the basics to get started. But some people still, they start on Twitter and they don't really know what to talk about. I gave you some ideas in the last video when we talked about hashtags, how you can start to interact with people and just follow a particular theme, write about a particular subject, and basically interact that way. And the other things I would suggest with Twitter is, everyone says when they first get on Twitter, they say, I don't understand Twitter. Why would anybody be interested in what I had for breakfast, whether I was going to the shop or not? And you're right, those sort of tweets aren't really that interesting unless you're sharing it, say, with your family and friends, and you're saying, I've just had breakfast, I'll be on my way over soon. But I think the more you get into Twitter, the more you'll realise the various different uses for it. And I like to try and get a balance between talking about myself and my own things, sharing what other people are saying that I find interesting, pointing people in the direction of interesting things I've found on the internet maybe, or just interesting information I've found, and interacting with others as well. So let's take it from the beginning. I mean, if it depends why you're on Twitter as well. If you're just on for the social aspect and you just want to interact with your friends, your family, your favourite radio station, you want to follow some of the celebrities like Ashton Kutcher or somebody like that, then the way you use it might be different from the way somebody's using it, say, for a business, but there will be a lot of similarities. The first thing we've already discussed about is how to interact. And I actually have found, even though I said don't interact too much because people lose out on the conversation, and because Twitter has now, much to a lot of people's annoyance, changed the way at replies are seen. So these ones, if I was saying, sending a message back to Lisa Hartwell, my other account, to talk to her, that has changed a little bit, and they're still sort of finding their feet with that, I think. But I actually am interacting more and more at the moment, so if that's the way you want to use it, then you feel free to interact with people. I always think it's nice, though, still, if I'm sending a message to somebody in reply, if it's just a one-off message, then wouldn't worry about it too much. But if you're kind of into a conversation and you don't want to annoy your other followers, I think it's always nice to make sure your tweet is broad enough and gives specifics about what you're talking about, because you're obviously having this conversation in the public arena. So if you're going to do that, then why not at least allow others to follow that conversation and understand a little bit about what you're talking about. So for example, if I just tweeted something like, thanks for that, I really appreciate it, anybody following that is not going to know what I'm talking about. So instead, it's really useful to say, thanks for that link, I really appreciated it, then post the link again so that other people can enjoy that. So that's the first thing, is interaction. The next thing is, particularly if you're a business, you might want to be promoting your own things. You might have, say, every time you write a blog post, you might want to post that on there. That isn't a problem. People do not have a problem with when you're twittering your own stuff. Of course, you have to get the balance. If all you do is go on Twitter and you start promoting yourself in every aspect, you never interact, you never bother listening to what other people say, you have no interest in anybody else, then people are going to get fed up with you really quickly and stop following you, or they will just not pay attention to anything you do. So make sure that if you are going to tweet about yourself and your own stuff, that you also balance it out with other things. One of the things you'll see a lot is this RT, which has become an abbreviation for retweet. What that means is that you're retweeting something that somebody else has already posted. So for example, if you quite liked what Deb was putting here, then you could just go retweet at Deb Penner, and you share that with everybody. Just click the update. People will then understand that And you could do RT if you want to, because sometimes some people's tweets are too long to actually fit retweet in as well. So if you find something somebody else has put that's interesting, rather than tweet it yourself, and in a way, by doing that, without saying it's a retweet, you're kind of making it out that you have found this and you are pointing it out. And that's kind of taking ownership of somebody else's information. So it's always nice to give credit to the person who's actually originally tweeted it. So all you do is you put RT or retweet, put the name of the person who tweeted it, and put as much of the message in the link as possible that you can fit in as well. That way is a lovely way as well for you to find and for others to find new people to follow, because if you say saw that tweet from me, from Deb Penner, but you weren't following her, then that gives you a great opportunity to go and see what else she's tweeting about and see if you like the rest of her tweets or not. So that's a great way to help others find new people and also find interesting information. Also, another ideal thing is if you're online, you find something that really interests you, then the chances are, if it interests you and your followers are people who are interested in the same things, then you tweet that and they will find it interesting as well, and you're adding to the community. So if you take the example earlier of crochet, that we did a search for people who are interested in crochet. If you've been interacting with the crochet crowd on Twitter and you find a fantastic free crochet pattern, then of course Twitter it. They'll all be interested and they will love the value that you have given to them and love the fact that you're interacting with them and offering something of use to them. Now, there are many other things you can do. You can write about on Twitter. There are a lot of outside programs now for Twitter, which means you can post things to your Twitter stream. You can Twitter about them and link to other things. So, for example, let me open up a new window, new tab. So we've got TwitPic, which means you can share photos on Twitter, and it's not the only photo thing. But if you signed up for TwitPic, you log on, you upload your photos, or you send them to TwitPic from your mobile phone or from your iPhone, and then once you've posted them into your account, they will turn up as pictures. So that's fantastic. You can actually Twitter a picture. So if you were out and about and you saw something cool, you could send it to TwitPic and it will upload it to your Twitter account and people can click through and see what that picture's about. Same thing, there's Audio Boo now, where you can actually Twitter audio. And there's no end of different websites now that rank Twitterers for all sorts of different things. The latest one is people who are posting the most obnoxious self-promoting tweets, and you can actually vote for the worst and the best, so depending on how you look at it. So there's all sorts of things that you can get involved in, and the more you're on Twitter, the more you will see those sorts of things and get involved with them and interact. So many different ideas of things you can do. Oh, Blip. If you go to blip.fm and sign up there, you might see a lot of people post their favourite songs. Blip's not the only one, again, but there are a variety of places now that you can be a DJ and post links to your favourite songs, the songs you've been listening to at that moment. Again, don't make it a constant thing. People probably get a bit bored having to constantly clicking through to all your favourite songs, but as an occasional thing, it's great fun to do, and of course it means you get to listen to your favourite songs and Twitter them at the same time. So there's always something to do on Twitter, and of course if you are a business person and you're looking at using this personally but also from a business sense, then you'll probably find a ton more ways that you can use it in your particular niche or market or business. So there are plenty of ideas there. If you've already started using it in a particular way, then I'd love you to add a comment and tell us about it.